ant, you little damn ant, buddy.
You're such a nice guy, Jay Leno.
I'm bored! I'm so bored!
Why don't we go to my website?
Gentlemen, the cola is very, very good today.
The hair is combed really nicely. Let's,
Thank you.
you have a nice comb going.
Thank you.
That Gordon loves to comb his hair.
Yep, my favorite pastime.
It's more fun than
call
shaving.
You Good Gordon because of how good you look.
Thank you. Yep, that's in contrast.
Now we got to go trademark that after this episode. I mean, geez.
Exactly. The next hit TV movie, Good Gordon. It's about a guy who combs his hair, and that's it.
That does sound like a TV movie title, though.
It does. That is, in fact, actually why the movie is called Bad Ronald, because he doesn't look good. It's a judgment on his physical character. And everyone knows that physical imperfection is synonymous with moral imperfection.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're evil. They're evil if they don't look good.
He's Bad Ronald
evil.
because he has bad eyesight.
That's the stand we're taking here on Televised the TV Movie Story. I know you both co-sign it, but all ugly people are evil, and all beautiful people are inherently morally good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Let's watch Michelle Pfeiffer and White Oleander, and then let's come back to that discussion.
I stand by it.
Michelle Pfeiffer has never done anything wrong in any of her movies. Like,
no, so some of the movies have done a lot wrong.
Yes,
but
yes.
Herself, New Year's Eve. But she's innocent.
Yes. We should probably, by the way, introduce that third voice here because the rain is coming down so hard that Mike has to be picking that up.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what that is?
I can hear it, but let's just work through it. It's like it's only minor background noise.
That's okay.
It's fine. I just wanted to address it in case anyone is listening. I was like, "What's that sound?"
Gordon,
it just started.
It sounds like an earthquake rumble, kind of.
I will trade you that for my 90-degree March weather right now.
Oh, that's the thing is it was 90 degrees earlier today. And then
really?
It was 90 degrees all day, and then I was out delivering, and all of a sudden it was so windy that I had to put on a jacket. And there's very quick lightning every few seconds going on.
Right.
It only just started raining though, as I commented on it. So otherwise I maybe would have made arrangements, but anyway, we should now, because it's been even longer, introduce our guest, first time guest, but a frequent listener. We've both been on your show. You've been on my other show. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the show, Frank.
Thank you. No, it's really, I don't, not saying it just because it's one of the lines you deliver at this stage of a recording, but it's an honor. It's an honor to be here. I am a fan of this show, and I'm gonna throw something at you. I got a couple comments on some previous episodes.
No.
I had to get out. I have to get out because really quickly, the Big Brother episode.
Oh my God.
So fun. And I think that there should be a drinking game with listeners taking a drink every time Gordon says the word sure. Because every time you said that, I was just cracking up at my desk. It was too much.
A fun episode, despite my efforts.
Look,
I do want. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you love that episode, you should listen to the ones I do on my other podcast, the short podcast about short films, where I have Christoph doing them with a bunch of animated short characters, and he's a much more active participant in those.
Oh my God, I need to do that.
It's much more amenable to the concept.
I do want to say, Hot Frosty is hot. but not with that hair. Not with that hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
I
haircut, no. That kills the hotness. I do want to say Richard Nixon was president from 1953 to 1961 during the Eisenhower years, when you
okay.
two were discussing that during the Running Mates episode, and you're like, "Oh, Nixon was this or something," and vice president, and vice president, and come on,
Right.
say it. He was vice president, and it never happened. So I just wanted to say that he was vice
Thank
president.
thank you.
The last
Another
Republican
point.
president I liked.
Another point to Frank.
Um, and Gordon, I love you, but I agree with Eliza that the math that was used for the game that was played during the Westingate episode was kind of mean and a
Or
little too
It
tricky.
it was intentionally mean.
or
to be
the man with 1,000 chains, the man who's
Oh, was that the one? Was
I
that the
Yeah,
think
one?
that's the one
if
with all
we're
the
talking
numbers and the
math,
titles
yeah.
and everything.
Math. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right. It was that
of
one.
1,000 chains. Yeah. No,
That
that
was a
one
little mean.
I will fully cop to that. It was supposed to be.
Yeah, because I say that only because I kept on getting them wrong myself. So when I was playing along, so that's just that. Anyway, so that's
So
just my thoughts.
Gordon
But I'm a
succeeded.
fan. But I'm a
He was
fan. So there you go.
Gordon was trying to rage bait every single person who was listening to that game, and he
Exactly.
succeeded with flying colors.
Well done.
Little
Well done.
little bit of a tease. We last night recorded next week's episode after yours, and I have a game in that completely at the very end there also very intentionally sort of rage baited both Eliza and my dad in a way that I think was very successful, and they both sounded like it was very successful. So eager to see if you get the answer on that one faster than they both did.
I cannot wait. I've been more successful at the scrambled names of people than I have at
That's
the.
maybe
Oh, is that it?
maybe
In the vein of that? Okay, okay. All right. We shall see.
I will say of that game, it's like I wasn't as rage baited as I was with the numbers in the titles game, but I understood like exactly where it was. So it's like, okay, I'm mad, but I get it. It's just like
which is what I always hope for with these.
like
Couldn't
the,
really think of a
the numbers game was more just like I hate you for this. You are intentionally like pissing me off, and I hate you.
correct. Exactly. Was trying to think if I could come up with a game for this episode, and I couldn't really. But knowing now that you are a play along at home, next time
Yeah.
we have you on, I will do my best to come up with something for the two of you because
Dealio.
I always
Dealio.
love coming up with those very mean, very deranged games.
I mean, they inspire you to be a more of an active listener than a passive one,
yes,
which I'm always in favor of. You just don't want to lay back and just let things wash over you. You want to like actually be pulled into it more, and those definitely do that. So I love them.
exactly. But so let's we have not even referred to the movie
We
that
have
we're here
not.
to talk about yet.
No, we have
Other
not.
than the
I'm
very
sorry, that's
brief
my fault.
No. Always, I mean, other than the brief good Gordon, we have not actually said the name
No.
Bad Ronald. So tell us a little bit about why. I mean, you mentioned a few different ones, but tell us why this was the one
I did.
you landed on here.
Well, I was because for those that don't know, I'm currently doing a series on Faye Dunaway called Hollywood Royalty, Dunaway After Crawford, which Gordon was really gracious enough to be on, and we're looking at the post Mommy Dearest career of Faye Dunaway. And so my first thought was, oh, I should pick a title from that since it ties into the series I'm doing. But then I thought, no, I've already had Gordon watch 4 movies with Faye Dunaway in them, and if I make him watch another one, he'll start to resent her and me by extension. So I'm not going to do that. So
Not too far off with that line of thinking.
yeah. Although I would not subject you ever to another Luc Besson. Although
Oh God,
people should listen to that episode simply to hear Gordon be mad at a movie.
God, yeah. That movie made me really angry.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it did.
movie?
The
The
messenger, the
Messenger.
story of Joan of Arc.
Oh,
Yeah, from 1999. Yeah, and
I
Faye
forgot
has
that
a
was
supporting
based
role
on.
in there. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
Besson. That
it's
was
that's why it's
very
Mila
Besson.
Jovovich is because of the song. It's
Um,
it's a rough
it's
time, but a good episode. Yeah, absolutely
yeah,
go
and a
check
good
out that.
poster. Good
Yeah,
poster. Hey,
yeah.
they got a good poster out of that. No, so why did I pick this one? Okay, I got a few reasons why. I knew whatever I had to choose, whatever I was going to choose was going to be from the 70s. That's like the golden age of TV movies for me, and a lot of iconic titles came from there. The Boy with a Plastic Bubble, autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, Sybil, Brian's Song, which you all are
which
going
we
to be
did
covering,
next
or
week.
yeah,
It's
are
the
releasing
one that
next
we yeah
week.
yes, the one that we
Yes.
recorded yesterday.
Also
Same
from the same
director as this one.
director.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Buzz Kulik.
Buzz Kulik. And all those like TV movies are so specific to that time, and it's a golden era. It is. And it was the perfect breeding ground for horrors and thrillers and dark stories, specifically this time of the 70s. And the regulations restricted what you could do in terms of violence and explicitness, but that just forced a higher level of creativity in other areas like character and story and music and yada yada yada. And actually, you said something on the recent episode of when you guys covered the Baby Jane remake. You mentioned about how there being something specific to TV movie horror, and I think that what that is, it's the lack of explicitness that's been replaced with like mood and atmosphere and tension and an overall sense of unease. And there's something very always a little unsettling about the world of a TV movie horror, whether it's taking place in Dracula's castle or the Southern California suburbs. It's always there. And yes, that there's unease in every horror film. That's true, but it feels different when it's on TV because TV is meant to have more rules and regulations. So by nature, it's meant to feel safer in that way. But out of that world, you get like Trilogy of Terror and Duel and Don't Be Afraid of the Dark and the Night Stalker. Sorry, Eliza.
You are not forgiven.
And the Night Strangler and this one. And I'll admit, Bad Ronald is less scary and more creepy, but it is so properly iconic because of its off-putting nature and also because the different responses to it. This is the era of TV movies when it was all demographics. You know this. It was just the three networks. And so the reactions to Bad Ronald were and are like across the board. It's considered bad, it's considered good, cheesy, campy, disturbing, twisted. I myself find it just, incredibly macabre and just plain old fucked up, in a nutshell. And even though I've only ever watched this movie twice before rewatching it for this, it's one of those that's always stayed with me. And unless I do a Kim Hunter podcast, which is unlikely, this might be the only time I ever talk about Bad Ronald on mic. And I was dying to see where you two, after the wide array of titles, Gia to Fred, what you've liked, what you've hated, finding out where you two fell on this one. I mean, that was just it was too tempting for me, and I really hope, Gordon, that you're not going to be the neutral Switzerland that you were earlier
No,
this month in this one.
I am.
Okay,
I have
good.
strong. I do have strong feelings on this one. I am not
Okay,
the laissez-faire sort of. It was okay, even though
that
I
was
do
my
think
that's my
like
spiel.
yeah, I do think I would probably rank this somewhere middle of the pack. Like if I'm talking about just like flat out quality of movie, I don't think it's necessarily too bad to be a so bad it's good or too good to be a like one of the best. So like in that sense, I'm a little neutral on it, but it does
Mhm.
certainly evoke strong feelings. I
Yeah.
do have a lot of uh, distinct reactions to how I felt watching this very strange movie.
There you
Eliza,
go.
how about you? How are you
Strange
feeling?
Ronald.
Strange Ronald.
More like
I absolutely love this. I was
Oh,
having a great time whole way
okay.
throughout. Like, do I think it's a great movie? Absolutely not. But it falls very much in like the Langoliers camp where it's just like I don't care that this is bad because I'm loving every second.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a fun one.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's a seeing is believing type thing. It's a
Yes,
recommend
yeah.
on the sense of like, hey, check out this like wild ass artifact of whatever it is.
There's an
Um,
initiation factor to it.
yeah,
Like you need
it's
to at some point you need to watch Bad Ronald.
it's like it's nowhere near as bad as The Room, for example, but
Oh
that
no.
kind of like sort of not quite misguided, but just a little off kilter in a number of
Mm.
ways, kind of like borderline camp. So it's absolutely the kind of thing that you can be like, hey, have you heard of this weird thing? You should absolutely go watch it. It's 75 minutes,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
a really good selling point on this movie is that it is 75 minutes, even though there's probably 50 minutes in the middle where very little actually happens.
But
It's
there's
all like,
there's more story there. The
yeah,
thing, that's the thing,
but like as
it's
far as
weird.
like things that happen in the movie, it's the first 10 minutes and then the last 15. And
Yeah.
then the rest is just sort of like atmosphere that mileage definitely may vary as to whether it works for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially if
That's
you're
true.
here for Ronald being bad, it's like that middle section is a lot of just him lying in wait until he does something.
Yeah. Munching on a chocolate bar.
Yeah.
The menacing chocolate bar is so good.
The way he eats food in this, the apple up front when he's sort of nervously like gnawing at it with one side of his mouth,
Right.
uh, really weird stuff. The way he's interacting with that apple. Should I do the rundown? Should I
Go
Yes,
for it.
take
please.
us into the main
Yes.
stuff of it? So again,
Hmm.
we're talking about Bad Ronald from 1974, directed by Buzz Kulik, also of next week's Brian song. Because of the fact that we're recording these out of order, we're going to be referencing a lot of next week's episode, and like there will be things that come up next week that we will be referencing here now. Like for example, one of the other things that was airing alongside it. Written by Andrew Peter Marin, based on the 1973 novel of the same name by Jack Vance. Stars Scott Jacoby, Pippa Scott, John Larch, Dabney Coleman, and Kim Hunter, and some other people in various
Some blonde young
parts.
actresses. Yeah.
Yeah, two of them actual sisters in real life. That's pretty cool.
Right.
The two that aren't Babs
Yeah.
were real sisters.
Yeah.
Broadcast October 23rd, 1974 on ABC, another ABC movie of the week. Airing opposite it on CBS episode of Sons and Daughters and an episode of Canon, which Eliza will find out next week what that show is. And on NBC,
no joke, love Canon. I really love Canon. It's
it sounds like
underrated.
fun. The way my dad described it, it sounds like a lot of fun. On NBC, there was an episode of Little House on the Prairie and an episode of a show called Lucas Tanner, which we really did just used to name TV shows a guy's name,
Yeah.
and that was that. And we were just totally fine with that. Just like
Yeah.
first name,
I
last
mean,
name. Here's a show about this guy.
I mean,
well, now we got Matlock after Kathy Bates, so
Yeah,
we
but even then,
made some strides.
But even then, that's an adaptation
Yeah,
of a pre-existing show about some guy.
that's true.
Like,
Yeah.
what was the last major
Oh,
TV show?
oh, Elsbeth. We have Elsbeth right
Elsbeth
now.
is good.
I am
Isn't it
not
great?
familiar,
Oh,
but I trust you.
yeah. Good. It's a good wife, good fight spinoff. It's really fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
We also
Yeah.
used to do TV spin-offs that we just like.
I know. Oh,
What's
Yeah.
I mean,
I was just thinking about this. Is this like of all the shows of like guys' names? It's like McNulty would be a great TV show, I think.
I mean,
oh, there you go.
I mean, it is. That's just The Wire. That's just the main guy on The Wire is McNulty.
But The Wire isn't called McNulty. I'm wanting a show
Yeah.
called Okay, so actually McNulty is the prequel to The Wire. Okay.
Okay. Who are we
Oh, there you
casting
go.
as young?
Young McNulty.
Which is that? Dominic West or Dominic Cooper? I always forget.
No,
which is
that's
I've
The
never
Wire.
watched The Wire.
I think it's not Cooper. It's West.
okay.
I think it's
Okay.
West.
It's Dominic West. I just Googled
Okay.
it.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Anyway, let's
Bad
let's
Ronald.
talk Bad Ronald, Uh, where to start even?
Um,
Um,
I I
we,
I want to start with something, and I feel like it might be a controversial opinion, but I thought Scott Jacoby was amazing. Like I thought he was really good as the titular Ronald.
yeah, listen, before this, I saw this for the first time in it doesn't matter. But I had only known him as Dorothy Zbornak's son on the Golden Girls.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, okay, this is Scott Jacoby having a little showcase for himself. And yeah, I thought he was great. He really played the fragility and the damaged, stunted nature of Ronald. I think he carried it off.
hmm. Gordon.
I I think this is where I get to be like where I get to shine with my own personal opinion, where I think maybe I mean I just wasn't really approaching this movie quite as seriously as it seems like the two of you were, where I was just like, this guy is weird. This guy is just sort of on one. This like I wasn't really observing it through the lens of like, is this a good performance? Is this a good like
So are you one of the kids in the pool laughing at him then,
I
basically?
I think I am, which is such a wide like that sort of set the scene for the whole movie for me, where
Yeah.
like we all we know of Ronald at this point is that he's maybe a little awkward and coddled by his mother. It's his birthday. One day he'll be a famous doctor, but that's 10 years away.
Yes.
And he's going out to go to some guy's house. He's trying to go to a friend's house, but he doesn't really have friends.
Well,
And so
he's trying to go to the neighbor's house because he has a crush on the on one of
yeah,
the daughters that lives there, and he wants to ask her out. And she's having a pool party, and he's basically like laughed out of the backyard by everybody that's there.
yeah.
Yeah.
It just felt so off to me. The vibes were off. It not in a way that I, disliked, but just the vibes were off, and that sort of set the stage for the rest. It just felt sort of uh, uh, almost like bordering on surreal in some of the vibes of it. Like he
Mm-hmm.
just walks into this pool party uninvited, goes up to the girl on the diving board and is like, "Hey, do you want to go see a movie?" And she's like, "No, I'm about to jump off like, what are you talking about? Get away from me, kid who's like, weird kid next door." And then everyone there's a prolonged sort of everyone in the pool gets the line in on, get away from here, Ronald. I actually wrote them all down. It goes,
Okay.
see you later, Ronald. Yeah, bye, Ronald. Come back when you can't stay so long. Don't get wet. Stay dry. Don't forget to shut the gate from the outside, Ronald. And then it was just like, all we know is this guy's a little bit awkward, and then everyone hates him, including the little girl on the bike. Like, just
Mm.
everyone in the world hates this guy because he's a little weird with it. And it just sets a very strange vibe. Like, we've not really done too much. I mean, I guess that is the movie establishing
But
that
did
he's
you like
weird.
did you not
But
feel the
like,
strangeness set into motion with just like the dynamics between Mrs. Wilby and Ronald,
I mean, I
to
did.
mother and son? It's
Yeah, I just
that's not a good relationship.
no, 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 no. I don't know. I'm not saying the movie didn't work for me. I'm not saying I disliked it. I just think it's not the same. It's not the kind of weird and off-putting that I was expecting, or that it sounds like it does work for the two of you in terms of like setting an effectively like genuinely unironically creepy atmosphere. I was sort of looking at it more ironically, uh, just because I don't know. There was just a sort of like low quality feeling to it all. It felt a little
Interesting.
bit like at least on the acting level and on some of the production level, it felt a little bit
Well,
like
it looks like it was one of those that was made in like 5 minutes.
yes,
It's
yeah.
it
It
was shot on it was shot on the Warner Brothers studio lot, which I love a good like studio lot neighborhood, on
yeah.
the screen. It's fun. But I love that there's not a lot of flair or panache with the camera movements, and as a result, you got this like fly on the wall type of
Yeah.
feeling to it
Hmm.
that's pretty raw, and that just like for me that heightens up the strangeness um a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like even though I won't say like this is an auteur piece, I still think that like this is a like I thought this was like weirdly well made. And I think maybe it is just like I do sometimes prefer movies that are a bit like simpler in terms of like the camera setups and stuff like that. So like maybe it is just a byproduct of it being, you know, more low budget and like being shot in a rush. But it's just like I think the almost minimalistic nature of it is what something that like really made me like genuinely enjoy this at times, while also
Mm.
enjoying the bad parts of it, like you know the overall plotting of it. But it's just like like whether I was enjoying it genuinely or enjoying it ironically, I was still enjoying it the whole way through.
Yeah. I didn't not enjoy it.
I know.
I want to make that clear.
I
I just, yeah.
we all love this movie, albeit for maybe different reasons.
And on different levels, I gotta say, for me, I it might be revealing a little bit too much about myself, but screw it, why not? Um, I
That's what
can
we're here
kind of
for.
relate. Yeah, exactly. I can kind of relate to this story to a very definite point because of my growing up. My dad had to be gone a lot because of his job. He was in the military, so when he was gone, he was gone for months at a time, and it was just me and my mom. And even though she and I had a very vastly different relationship, still have a different relationship. I get the dynamics of them making their own world together and them being the two primary figures in that. Also because I was a loner who got lost a lot in movies and I didn't have much use for other kids in the neighborhood, and they didn't have much use for me, so it was fine. Um, I kind of I can see how Ronald B is so quick to jump into his little fantasy world. We should say he's writing this story about this world that he's created for himself called Atlanta, and he's created characters in it, and that's the only escape he has away from his mother. But it's such a weird relationship. I forget every time I watch this movie that he's in his senior year of high school. He may as well be 12 years old in a lot of respects. It's
Yeah.
it's it's crazy.
Yeah,
I do just want to mention that every time they said Atlanta in this, I was like, it just sounds like you're saying Atlanta in a racist,
Yeah.
like Asian
Yes.
accent. Like you could have come up with any other name and you landed on Atlanta, which is not great. I'll say that. That's
It
there
doesn't
are,
roll off the tongue.
it does not. It really does not. Uh
so the first time he mentions the name of it, and it's where it's just like the mom's like, "Oh, don't get caught up in your little fantasies," and he says, "Oh, Atlanta isn't fantasy; it's real to me," or something like that. When he said that, I thought he said China at first, and I was
Yeah,
just like,
I had to go back like multiple times and then eventually turn on subtitles because I could not figure out what he was saying.
and
It's
That's funny. I
but
also want to point out that I love that how Mrs. Wilby is celebrating her son's birthday and the anniversary of her divorce in the same 24 hours, basically, same
which
weekend. Sorry.
also like I mean that probably fucked Ronald up that she divorced that like his parents got divorced the day after his birthday. I
Yeah,
mean he was a baby, like he doesn't remember it. Or I
right.
guess not. She said like 10 years ago. So I guess he would have been like 8 or something.
Yeah,
8 or 9.
how
probably.
old
However,
is he?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
he's like
Well,
18.
he's in his senior year of high school, so I guess
Okay,
17,
senior in
18,
high
something
school.
like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't guess it, but
No.
yeah, he
Yeah.
is. I do
Uh,
appreciate that he does have a desire to exist away from his mother, but like the pool party, he keeps on getting rejected by the outside world. And he goes back to his mom, who insists, yes, consciously or unconsciously, about keeping him a little boy. Which is it's fucked up and really sad.
yeah.
Mhm.
Eliza, were you saying something before we got off on like
Oh, I'm
five
so
different
sorry.
tangents?
Oh,
I no, I like can't remember.
it wasn't really anything. It was just that I didn't realize the name was Atlanta until he wrote it in big letters on the wall.
Right.
That's fair. Um, did you guys think it was funny when well, I'm jumping ahead. So Ronald has an interaction with a neighbor girl who calls him weird, and they have a little scuffle, and she falls and hits her head on a cinder block and dies.
He grabs her by the head and throws her to the I wouldn't say she falls.
Yeah,
Well, no, she. Oh, yeah, he didn't intend to murder her.
No.
He was not a murderous intent. But there is no pun intended. But there is blood on his hands. And I
Yeah.
love when he tells his mom this that her reaction is that he'll be blamed for the girl's death, and this will ruin his chances at a medical career in the press.
I do love, and this was another big like sort of to what degree am I enjoying this ironically on like a camp factor or just like as an actual bit of like creepy character where he just sort of like resignedly is like, I killed Carol Matthews, which I think maybe would work better if it's not like 8 minutes into the movie. It feels like such an I mean, obviously it's such an escalation to have him
Yeah.
kill her and then bury her in a shallow grave off screen. But like to have him just be so sort of like not just sort of like mildly like he's not remorseful. It would be one
No,
thing if he
he's
was
just
entirely not remorseful, but he's just sort of treating it like I got a D on my science test. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. I killed a child.
That's so
And
fucked
then
up. It's just
yeah,
like what the hell? Come on. You
yeah,
just end it. You just there's someone dead now. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh
yeah,
yeah,
And
it's messed
she
up.
hones in so much on the shallow grave part, or like him burying her too, just because it's like because of course like that shows clear sign that it was like a murder, not just her slipping and falling on her own. But still, it's just like she hammers that in so much.
Hmm. Yeah. I think that Mrs. Wilby is really the villain of the piece. In so many ways. I mean, she's the one that formulates the plan that he should hide in the walls.
Hmm.
yeah,
Because they have like this is a house. It's a very old Victorian house, and there's like there's a crawl space in the pantry that you can just sort of that leads you to like different like walls, different areas behind the walls throughout the house, and that's where she suggests he hides. Um, it's so nuts. That plan is so nuts until things die down. It's just it's so crazy. That being said, I think that Ronald and his mom do make for such a weirdly watchable team. Like they're on such a
yeah.
crazy same wavelength that just defies rationality. Um, I just can't help but I can't help but love watching it. It is so messed up. I mean, who thinks like that?
Yeah.
Honestly.
I
Yeah,
it
I would have wanted more of that in the
Yeah.
movie, I think.
I would have loved it more of Kim Hunter in this. Like
Mm.
she was a lot of fun, and
Oh,
like really
yeah.
earning her Oscar win.
And also,
This is what it took. This is what it took for her to have earned it.
well, no, she won for Streetcar Named Desire,
Yeah,
which
yes,
was
Well,
it,
yes.
oh yeah,
but
but one of the great Oscar wins ever. But she was always so great, and the way she just throws herself into the oddness of the material with such conviction. I mean, that's a pro. I mean, that's yeah,
Mhm.
one of the greats.
Yeah. Before we move on too much from this section of the movie, I
Hmm.
I mentioned it earlier. I really want to talk about that apple. Did either of you notice the way he ate the apple?
No,
No,
I
Either of
just
you
the
didn't
pay
notice the
chocolate
attention to
apple.
this?
bar.
I was just
Just the
focusing on that
chocolate
chocolate
bar.
bar.
So like
Yeah.
he sits down as the sort of figuring out what to do, and he picks up an apple from like there's like a bowl of apples on the table, and I don't have an apple with me, but just pretend my fist is the apple. He's just like
Like, and that's just how he eats everything. He's always just kind of like nibbling on
Yeah,
it through the corner of his
nibbling.
mouth.
He's like nibbling
Yeah.
from one side of his mouth at the same part. I mean, obviously continuity be damned. You cut to wide shots and he's like eating a whole like ring around it. But in
Yeah.
all the close-ups, he's just like nibbling at the exact same part of it. Like
He
very small
is.
nibbles, very
Yeah.
fast too. Like he's not chewing and swallowing. He's just sort of like storing like crushed up apple in his mouth like a
Yeah.
chipmunk from the same part of it. And again, like I've never eaten an apple from my side teeth. That's not
No.
I that's
Yeah.
you
You
can't
you
do
go
that.
all in.
It doesn't
You go
work.
all in.
You can
You
nibble on a
take
chocolate bar. You can't nibble on an apple.
yeah, it's up there with Arlie Ermey's food habits in I'm Dangerous Tonight. It's been a
I'm
good year
also
for wild interactions with food.
I gotta say personally, I'm not nibbling on a chocolate bar either.
No, yeah, but
That
like
that
it's
that's the thing gone in like 15 seconds. But yeah,
at the very
it's,
least, it's like ergonomically designed for it, should you choose to. Apples
yeah.
were not like that's not a nibble food. You don't do that. I don't know how it's the most unsettling thing he does in the whole movie.
No, the eating, the nibbling really is. I do
It's
want
a good
to.
nervous tick. It's a good sort of like
It
shorthand
That's what
nervous tick.
I was about to say. Because I do want to mention that. Before that, I do love how the police come in, question Mrs. Wilby and say, where is he? We think he has something to do with this dead girl. And she's like, oh, I haven't seen him. He's gone away. And teenagers are always running away, which I thought the first couple times I saw that, I thought, well, that was just like a weird, random, this is movie just being weird again. But, in the 70s, teenagers were always running away. That was an epidemic of runaways. So that's why when everyone treats it like, oh, okay, well, he ran away, that's pretty that's pretty on point. And we should say yes, Mrs. Wilby at one point they carried this off for a little while. The neighbor, Mrs. Schumacher, is spying, like, because
Mrs.
she's got
Schumacher.
nothing else to do.
What a character.
But looking into the window, yeah, exactly. With that crazy look that Gordon's reenacting right now.
Love him. Best part of the movie.
But she's like, she's doing her thing, but Mrs. Wilby will open up the crawl space hatch, and she's like, have you done your exercises? Have you done your studies? And he's like, yes, a chapter of chemistry and two chapters of trig and this and that. And he's literally existing in there. And um, um, I, as you see him in there, he starts to draw more and more the drawings of Atlanta. And I love that, seeing the drawings, how elaborate they get. That's how you can chart his sort of mental breakdown by how much more, involved they get. Um, and there's a shot that I want to point out that's very sad and touching, oddly enough, about the two of them having dinner. She's sitting on a chair by the pantry, by the crawl space, and he is sitting in the actual hole in the wall, and they both have plates on their laps, and they're having a normal dinner as if they would be on the dining room table. And it's a striking image because it speaks so much to the world that they shared and the bond that they shared. And no matter what's happened, they still have to continue that together. And I find that just very oddly touching and very sad. But yes, Mrs. Wilby has to go have a operation for her gallbladder, and she dies, leaving Ronald in there. And when a relative of some sort and a realtor come into the house and announce that she's dead and that what they're planning to do. And that's when Ronald finds out because he hears through the walls. And that's when we get the nibbling on the chocolate bar and his head sort of cocked to the side. And that's another very striking image because it's also weird. The way his head's positioned, the way he's nibbling at the chocolate bar, the look in his eyes. Yeah, that's just yeah, just a very striking image for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, you get John Fiedler, the realtor, which say that 5 times fast.
John Fiedler, the realtor. John Fiedler, the realtor. Wait,
Nope,
Fiedler or
already messed it.
Fielder?
Fiedler,
John
Fiedler
Fiedler, the
from
realtor. John Fiedler, the 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 realtor. Boom. Fuck you. Kill yourself.
wow. Okay.
Also a Golden Girls co-star,
Oh, is he?
guest star. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think of him, for 12 Angry Men and
Of course, yeah.
Piglet.
Piglet. Yeah,
Piglet, of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
there you go. Lot of Golden Girls. I feel like we did someone else recently who was a Golden Girls mainstay, but
Hmm.
maybe that was on Lone Acting. I don't remember. Um,
Who's to say?
who's to say? Indeed, not me because I don't remember. Um, another bit of weird, unsettling food or consumable stuff in this movie. It's so unsettling the like bathroom tap water powdered milk that he makes.
Oh, right. Yes.
It's again one like more unsettling than some of the actual scares of the movie to me. It's just the like
Maybe that's just the 70s.
yeah, yeah. But like I mean, it's at least he takes a sip of it and it's disgusting because it's from this like disused ratty old bathroom sink. So like it's at the very
Yeah.
least supposed to be kind of gross, but there's a real guttural reaction from me watching that happen.
Yeah. I gotta say, I wish every time I watch this, the one consistent factor is I wish he'd leave. I wish he would leave that house, but I get why he doesn't. His mother trained him to never leave. She
Yeah.
made him believe that that was the only world in which he'd be safe in.
Yeah. And
And
also then you don't have a movie.
yeah, well, that's true. That there is that. I would also so totally live in that house. I'm an old soul, and I love old homes, old structures, old buildings. So that kind of house is my jam in a way. So.
Yeah.
That house would also cost like $1 million nowadays.
Today, oh my God, yes. In Southern California? You kidding me? Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah. So I forgot it was
Yeah.
California too. It's like that'd be like 5 million at
And
least.
you know how old of a house it is because John Fiedler says bathrooms just weren't that important when the house was built, which is my personal favorite line of the movie.
a one bathroom for a family of five, and three of them are
Yeah.
teenage girls. No, thank you. That's
Yeah.
hell. No.
Yeah. Well, I
Oh.
mean, one bathroom because the other one's got guy hidden bathroom with guy. Not an amenity
With the
that,
bad man in it.
yeah, not an amenity that that you're gonna find very often on Zillow or whatever.
That's
Uh,
true. Yeah, that's true.
They
four
should list
bed,
that like four
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 bed, one
bedroom,
bath, one
one
guy.
bathroom, one bad man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
I
man,
do got to say that when the new owners come in and
Dabney
people buy the house
Coleman.
of family. Dabney Coleman, who does no,
yeah,
I love Dabney Coleman. He can't pull off like the Family Guy. There's nothing Mike Brady about him at all. But I love Dabney Coleman, so there's
yeah.
that. That's
It's
good.
it's it's so weird to see Dabney Coleman playing a nice, genuine family man with
Yeah,
no like secret smarm to him. He is amenable to the oldest daughter's boyfriend. He is
yeah.
nice to his wife. He reprimands his daughters for teasing their sister. Like he's just a nice guy. Also, you saying I don't think Dabney Coleman could pull off a family guy makes me want to see Dabney Coleman one man show as Peter Griffin.
Oh well,
Is Dabney
I
Coleman
would do
on
that.
Broadway doing Peter Griffin?
I would love that. I do want to give a shout out to Pippa Scott, who plays the mother, Mrs. Wood, who plays the mother, Dabney Coleman's wife, and the mother of the girls. She's a great character actress. She was in movies like Auntie Mame and Cold Turkey, and she did guest spots on Perry Mason and Mary Tyler Moore. She there dabbled in writing, directing, producing, and she passed away last year at 90. And she was like one of
Wow.
those unsung character actresses that I just always love seeing. So it's just a wanted to give a little shout out to her because it's always great to see your favorite character actors show up. I think when the family does move in, the movie takes a turn, and in the interim before they moved in, Ronald has drilled in little peepholes around the house so he can go and um, you know, look through the walls, and the POVs that the movie has of him looking through the peepholes, um, is really fun in a genre way, and especially when he decides that Babs, the youngest daughter, is going to be the princess of Atlanta, and it just shows even further how lost he is mentally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a it's a definitive, line in the sand as to now the second part of the movie is happening here. And now we're on to this section where he gets to be menacing again. Um and you get some, some exposition that we are already hip to, but for these other characters with the older girl's boyfriend who happens to be the brother of the
Mm,
girl he killed, uh,
mm.
which is kind of I do kind of like that scene where they're at dinner and he's like, "Man, I never thought I'd be eating in this house," and they're like, "What are you talking about?" And he's coy about it, and then he's like, "Well, Ronald Wilby used to live here," and they're like, "Who's Ronald Wilby?" And just not a great delivery from this actor. He murdered my sister.
Yeah. Oh, he murdered my sister.
Yeah, it's a bit of a clunky delivery from him,
Yeah.
that, like, then gets Ronald very upset at this guy, where it's like, this guy thinks I killed his sister. I killed. I am gonna kill him too now. Um, but before that, he has to scare the old lady to death when
Well,
she's
that was another accident. He goes
yeah.
out exploring, and then she's like, because that's all she does is look into this next door house at Mrs. Schumacher, and she spots Ronald, and then you just can't help but laugh. She has a heart attack from seeing him, from seeing this dirty teenager, and then she dies, and just right there on the ground, and the shock from the shock of seeing him, and then he goes out and sees that, and he says, "Oh, they're gonna blame this on me too," and then he drags
Which
her into the
why would
basement.
they?
I
They
know,
don't know
I
you're
know.
here, dude.
And you just want to like say, he drags her into the basement. He's just like, "Stop moving dead bodies! Stop it!"
Genuinely, what, like, things would have gone a lot better for him if he had just gone back into hiding and let them find this old lady who genuinely he didn't do anything to other than be seen. Like,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
lady, that's on you for snooping around your neighbors' houses on very, short, steep back steps. Like, it's on you if you have a heart attack and fall down 3 steps and die. Like,
yeah.
I wonder how they would have reacted if they saw her just dead on their back porch. Like,
would have been. I don't think the parents would have gone on that vacation leaving their kids there.
No.
I can tell you that
Yeah,
much.
that's true. That's true.
Also, like,
Yeah.
when we do go into her house later on, like, she's kind of fucked up in her own way. Like, Babs, like, bumping into the baby doll that is like hanging from like a makeshift noose
Yeah.
in the
I that, that,
basement.
that
Like,
that's so random. So
yeah,
so random.
I mean, it's there because the movie's a horror movie and you need to have some
Yeah.
scares other than like dork with paint on him. Like, you need to have some other sort of horror imagery. So I guess this old lady with her flowery bucket hats and like wide eyes is also into some fucked up shit of her own. But like, yeah, she's not so, people in glass houses shouldn't go peeking into
I
their
know.
neighbors' houses and having heart attacks.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say.
Especially with a hat that looks like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Who do you think you
Although
are,
I
Flavor
do
Flav?
I do love her 70s though, green hat with like yellow flowers on it. I think it's really
It's
awesome in
so
a way.
garish. It's
Yeah.
so. I can smell what her house looks like, or what her house
Yeah.
smells like, just looking at
There's
that
like
hat.
little dishes of hard candy at
And
various
like
places.
the lingering scent of cats from decades past.
Yes. I gotta say, I do like that the only real jump scare in the film is Yeah, because the parents go away for the weekend and the other two daughters are not home yet. And Babs walks into her room and sees the drawing that Ronald drew of her as the princess in his story up on her wall. And then we cut to Ronald behind the door. I think that's an effective enough scare in the TV movie horror vein. And it's followed by him telling her that she's a princess and she's got to come with him. And it's like, yeah, okay. He's definitely gone. That train has left the station completely. And I think in terms of TV movie horror, I think that's where Bad Ronald is at its strongest in that scene.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's fun watching him chase her. I like that she like just right away runs for it. Like she's
Yeah,
not, stupid horror movie protagonist who
no.
like, she has a good plan. She just doesn't know that the old lady next door is dead and can't help her when she
Yeah.
runs into her house, which
But
is,
she sees
the
Ron,
strongest move.
she's like, fuck this. No,
Yeah.
I'm getting away from you. No
Yeah.
way.
And then she, some way or another, gets herself into the basement and he locks her in. Um, some real weird 70s, the I don't know, the camera placement. There's a couple shots of her like crawling up the basement stairs and the camera is like pointed up her skirt and it's gross. It's like,
Yes.
again, you didn't do this on accident. You saw that, you saw that in the dailies. You set it up this way on purpose. You had
Yeah.
her crawl up the stairs like that on purpose.
This
It's
was
gross.
storyboarded, you know.
Yes, this was an intentional shot, and they cut back to it later with her going up the stairs again, so you get another shot up this teenage girl's dress.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not great,
Nope.
but worth commenting on. Um, I do think it's very funny when the other sisters get home. Not something they could have foreseen,
Mhm.
probably, but when the other sisters come home and they find the forged typewritten runaway note, and they call in a cop and they're talking about how she wouldn't have run away. She stood up a date with Jimmy Carter,
Yes,
which
yeah, that's always something that's
Jimmy
funny
Carter
because
would
it
not be
was
president for another few years, but he was.
no,
Hey,
well,
to
he
go to your earlier point about what were presidents doing before they were presidents, he was at this point, 3 year senator or congressman or whatever
governor,
from Georgia, governor,
governor of
governor
Georgia,
of Georgia.
Georgia,
There you go.
and
I
he
looked it
I
up to
because
see where he was in his political career at this point. So like
well,
he was a public figure, but
I'm a huge Jimmy Carter fan, really, really huge. But it is funny given how Carter would burst onto the spotlight literally that December,
yeah,
the same year. That's when he announced his candidacy for presidency, and yeah, the timing of that is just it's funny. It's just yeah. Um,
yeah.
When did Nixon resign? What month?
70. It was August of 74.
Okay.
I'm a bit of a post World War II presidential nerd.
I could turn it.
So yeah.
I want to. I like just because we've been talking about this. I'm trying to think like how. Okay, Nixon resigned 2 months before this movie. Good. Just
Yeah.
place this the in your mindscape about like how the world was feeling at this time.
Oh, well, no, because I'm for my next Faye episode, I ask every guest to, even though we're focusing on Post Mommy Dearest Faye, I ask every guest to choose a title of hers from the 70s, from the 60s and 70s to choose to talk about as a mini-sode that I release later on. And my next guest chose 3 Days of the Condor, and that's such a which is 75, filmed in 74, released in 75, and that's very much a Watergate. And that was the era of really strong disillusionment. And when that sort of set in, and it's the first time like, wow, we can't trust our government. You
Hmm.
know, they're not really doing right by us the entire. What do you mean? And that was and that's when like the sort of like things in America started to feel definitely not right. And the
So
fact that this
maybe
movie was made in that with that sort of energy around, you can say it kind of seeps through a little bit.
maybe that's what we're commenting on. Maybe Maybe Ronald looking through the peepholes is all supposed to be a commentary on Watergate.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was
No,
genuinely
I
like
know,
where that
I know,
came from.
I started that and was like, oh, that's maybe in the water to a degree where that's not too far of a stretch to say,
No,
actually.
wait, now I'm imagining like a version of this movie where instead of Ronald and his mom, it's like fucking Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford. It's just like, no, you just resign and head back here, and everybody will forget about you.
And
Or or
you can call it Bad Dick.
or yeah, you can. But I think it should be Richard Nixon and Pat
Thank you,
Nixon.
thank you.
And
Yes,
Pat Nixon suggesting, no, hide in the walls, Dick.
hide in the walls,
Hide in the
hide in the walls,
walls.
hide in the walls.
Yeah.
And
And you just have Nixon hiding in the walls of the Oval Office, just spying on Ford, and just like they
Yeah.
can't kick me out. They don't know I'm here.
And he'll pardon him just so he can leave the walls and just go away.
I'm going to stay in here until Bush is in office.
that, okay,
I wouldn't put it
now we
past him.
just need like a movie kind of like The Butler, except it's just Richard Nixon and the walls as all the presidencies
Honestly,
pass by him.
Yeah, because we don't need
honestly,
another butler.
that could make a legitimately compelling one-man show if you have Nixon hiding in the walls for another 20 years. Just like observing.
I mean, he lived that
Honestly,
long, so
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Yeah,
why
exactly.
not? Yeah.
there you go. Keep him through
It
till
was
early Clinton.
it was just AI that was the AI Nixon that we saw in public those few times or something
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Um,
Here's one of the random notes. I took very few notes because, again, this is one of the movies where I'm just kind of locked in. But I just kept thinking that I want to know, A, what John Waters thinks of this, and B, how he would direct this movie. Because
yeah.
this
Ooh.
is the exact kind of like 70s camp that he like is obsessed with. And it's just like this, I know he has some great things to say about this movie.
Oh God, I would love to know that too, Eliza. That's such a great, great idea. I got nothing other than I would like to know too.
It was
Yeah.
specifically the scene when he like attacks the girl on the bike and kills her. Like that felt like just her stilted performance just made me feel like she's pulled straight out of one of his movies.
You're so weird, and so's your mom. Don't say I'm weird. Ah.
Well, it has that sort of like same energy as that girl in Carrie or that boy in Carrie. Creepy Carrie,
Yeah.
creepy Carrie. You know,
Yeah.
it's
I
in
mean,
that.
you even got the bike. You even got that.
Yeah, yeah, that's
It's all
true.
there. Speaking of I guess not even really speaking of anything. I just want to talk about it because it's not even really a John Waters type shot. But there's
Mm,
one, I mean, this is not a poorly shot movie by any means, but outside of, I guess, some of the like peeping Tom stuff of it, there's not a lot of like visual flair to it,
mm,
except for the one random split diopter shot at the end where the other two
mm,
sisters come home with burgers and they find the whole place trashed. And Ronald
mm.
is just like right in the foreground on one side of the frame, and then far in the
Yes.
background
Yeah.
is fucking Dwayne hogtied
Yeah.
and gagged on the cot,
Yes.
just
I
like
I
thrashing around like a fish out of water, just
I like
like
that shot.
no,
I
it's a weird, it's effective. The split diopter
yeah.
is used to good effect. I just wasn't expecting it with like 4.5 minutes to go of the movie.
No, yeah, I know it's true. But yeah, he does because he stays there while they go get the burgers and this and that, and Ronald knocks him out with the statue and drags him down. But I love that shot. It's not only is the setup really good, but I love Ronald's look. His disturbed
Yeah.
face is right. You can't escape it. It's right in front of you, and it's great. I also really love in that same scene, the cops telling the two sisters because they're scared, shut yourself in. You know,
Yeah.
just stay home, lock the doors, lock the windows, don't leave no matter what. And that's just like it's hilarious for obvious reasons. And then followed by uh that shot of Ronald's eye through the peephole when one of the
Yeah,
sisters goes to see it. Oh, that's
that's good.
beautiful.
I like that moment. It's a good like. When did Black Christmas come out in 1974? When in the, like is this?
70. It was
I know it's
74, wasn't
74.
it?
I'm just trying like
Yeah.
what month? Like was that a
Let's see.
Christmas release?
Oh
It was
gosh.
Christmas, December 20th.
Okay, so this movie
Okay.
beat it to the punch. You know that
Yeah.
ending with the shot of the eye
Yeah.
and
Oh,
the phone call.
Yeah, it's coming from inside
gotta
the
love it.
house.
Yeah,
I think it's really sad the way that because Ronald is discovered and the police like tackle him to the ground and he's calling out for his mother
yeah,
the when they do that and for some reason that breaks my heart. And I think the
Hmm.
reason it does is because this guy like in a lot of ways he never had a chance. He because of the way he was raised, because of the woman who raised him and her warped train of thought that became his. Um, yeah, so that moment when he's calling out for his mom, um, makes me sad.
yeah.
On that
Yeah.
cheery
Very
note,
anticlimactic ending. I will say,
it
very
is. No,
anticlimactic.
It's
it
so
is.
quick.
It
It's
The
just
is.
so
It's
like
immediate.
so rushed.
I'm not
So
kidding when
rushed.
I say more happens in the last 15 minutes of the movie than kind of the whole like the 50 minutes prior to that.
Yeah.
Um and
It's pretty much a third act, the
yeah,
entire last 15 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's also it's a 70s TV movie, and some of them they
they
just ended.
they've got 75 minutes. It's I didn't check like how many seconds but like this and Brian's song both 74 minutes. You
Mm.
can tell the ABC movie of the week they have a hard out. They have as much, they have an hour and a half including ads, like
Hmm.
15, 16 minutes of ads. So like
Hmm.
that's what you get. And they maybe squandered a bit of that runtime with some of the meandering hard-boiled eggs and diaries of it all.
I kind
In
of I gotta say that yeah that they I love the dynamics of the Wood family. They seem like the typical 70s family, in seeing them live their lives while Ronald is continuously watching them. Again, there's something so unsettling about that, and it's and seeing them try and rationalize what's happening around them. Like, well, I guess I just didn't make that many eggs, so some of
yeah,
them are missing, and it's I like that. You always try to characters in horror movies always try to act like they're not in a horror movie.
yeah,
And yeah, they do that really well here, I
Yep.
think.
I do love Ronald just digging through the fridge and everything.
Yeah.
yeah. Drinking milk right out the bottle of this
Yeah.
other people's milk, just lips to glass.
Well, we all, and also Babs gets some orange juice and like, I was like, God, when was the last time I remember I used to do that when I was a kid. I would just, come from school and open the fridge and whatever cold thing was in there, I'd pour that into a glass and, I don't do that anymore. I grab a bottle of water or something. So, yeah.
Other People's Milk starring Danny DeVito.
Yep.
Oh God, there's a blast from the past. Oh, jeez.
That's no that's like your classic Wheel of Fortune before and after. Other people's milk money. And it's
Oh.
the crossover between other people's money and milk money.
When Ben Stein's milk.
Yeah, I don't like that. I
No,
don't
thank
like that you
you.
put that out into the world.
Wait,
2 episodes done, canceled.
Win my milk.
You remember when he like hosted that reality show with those models that tried to lived in a house together and all tried to prove that they were smart?
I don't,
That was
but that
funny.
sounds about right.
Yeah,
that
he
sounds
he
very
was like an
Ben Stein.
Alex Trebek kind of guy. Maybe I don't know if he hosted or he was like just the guest
The like
host on one
celebrity face of
episode.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a bunch of models that lived, not famous models, but just, working models. And they were all gorgeous, of course. And they were all, the point of it was for them to live together and prove they were smart. And it was the
America's
trainer.
Most Smartest Model.
Is that what it's
Did any
called? Okay.
That's what it is.
Oh God. Did any
Hosted
of
by
them
Ben Stein and Mary Alice Stevenson, whoever that is. Uh,
Did any of them win Ben Stein's milk? Anyway, we're getting kind of far afield.
Yeah. But no, I
I
love
do.
that because that's one of the best things about the show is the tangents. I love me a
Yeah.
good tangent, and you two are just great at that. So
Thank
keep it
you.
up.
Thank you.
Feedback is
Uh,
keep it up. Yeah.
I do want to just talk about some of the wall drawings that he's done in his
Sure.
little hideaway hatch. I did take a few screenshots to talk about. There's one
Hmm.
shot you get where the camera sort of pans down one wall, and you have lightning striking some sort of block text that looks like it says, oh, it says Dwayne, but the A is like tilted. And the N and the E are backwards, but that says Dwayne.
Mhm.
You have oh, mother, mother, mother in different colors. You have catch, catch. You have a broken heart that says mother on one half and then a big X through it. You have a 1-3-2 crossed off and then 2-3 above that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I guess he did his math wrong. You have help with an exclamation point. You have a pair of glasses with eyeballs in them. You have ha, 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 ha with a sort of like swirly blue like line that turns into a star. Also, there's blood dripping from the heart above that. You have see evil in red and then no written off to the side pointing at the evil. So it says see no evil. You have like a compass star with a big R in the middle of it. You have Atlanta, no place for a duke. Evil, evil, bad, mad, sad. Why can't anyone see but me? A little arrow. You have a little swirly thing that says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then written out 10. And then you have Ronald loves the princess. The princess is in big block letters with a blue lining around it. And then also at the very end, when the whole family is reunited, the three daughters and Dwayne, off on the back wall, it just says food, more food,
Yeah.
drawing of a banana, drawing of a bowl of apples, drawing of a bowl of soup, drawing of some hard-boiled eggs, drawing of a hamburger, and written around it, I dream of hamburger.
Well, I honestly like so I'm you know I'm not a practicing Catholic because I'm gay and that's not the two don't really mesh well together, but I am a lapsed Catholic and so I
Very
still
funny
have
that you say that because I did make a joke in next week's episode
I can't
about
wait. I can't.
all of the guests this month being Catholic.
Oh, how funny! Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I can't wait. But as my
That's
ex-boyfriend would say, I still have the echoes of a good Catholic, and so um Uh, so I'm going. Every year during Lent, I go pescatarian, and so I'm not eating meat right now. I'm only eating fish and vegetables and a lot of carbs. And so that hamburger thing, I was like, oh fuck, yeah,
you
yeah,
you too
man.
dream of hamburger.
I do dream of hamburgers right now and ribs. But anyways, sorry, that's just a little aside.
All part of this healthy, nutritious meal: dream hamburgers and Ben Stein's milk, and a nibbled apple. Oh boy, we're
Yeah.
really
Dream hamburgers and Ben Stein's milk. What a sentence.
I had a friend one time. This is so gonna date me, but in the mid 2000s, he when playing The Sims was a thing. I never played The Sims. Are The Sims still a thing to play? I
Yes.
don't even know
yeah,
anymore.
they're
Like
still
it's
relevant.
still Sims 4, but it's still actively being played by a lot of people.
Okay. Well, he came to me one day. We were hanging out, and he's like, Frank, I did such an amazing thing. I got two Sims to exist on nothing but love and hamburgers. And he was
What?
so proud of it. Like he found Shangri-La. It's just he was so great. Just love and hamburgers, and they
Oh,
continue to live.
that's so honestly, that's real love. That's pure.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what life is all about. Genuinely.
Love
Making
and
two people
hamburgers.
live on love and hamburgers. Love that.
That's honestly my life.
That's
On
what we
love and
should all
hamburgers.
aspire
Um,
to.
Shout out to you, Lucian, who I've not talked to. It's a little over a decade, so but oh
He
well.
Well,
he is
Yeah.
listening right now. He's one of our most active listeners.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
we
You
we
did
hope
Monica wrong, but no, I'm just kidding.
we
Saying that.
hope those
Yeah.
Sims are still out there living,
Yes.
loving hamburgers.
Right. Right.
Live, laugh, love hamburgers.
Yep. The four tenets of basic human life.
Mhm.
Anything else about Bad Ronald?
Yeah, I got a few things if that's
Yeah,
Oh,
go
okay.
for
please
it.
Like
keep going.
Absolutely.
because I love
Absolutely.
my quotes. I love my quotes.
Yes.
I
Yes.
litter them on all my series, and I have some here. So Bad Ronald has had a decade has had he's had a life in the decades that followed with critics still talking about the movie in various respects.
Oh, are
Uh
we going to talk about the thing on the Wikipedia page?
no, no, no. I got something
Okay.
else from books I personally own. Um
Oh,
because
I mean, the thing from the
the
Wikipedia page is from a book, so I'm curious if it's the thing that
okay.
you're
Oh
going to
yeah, yeah,
refer
yeah. That probably is. Well, yeah, yes, it is. But I got the full quote.
to. Okay.
I've got a
I
full quote
couldn't
because I
find
have
the
the
full
book.
quote, so yeah,
Yeah, because I
I'm
have.
very curious
Well,
to hear.
that's actually so. David Hofstede, the critic, wrote a book called "The 100 Dumbest Events of Television History," and that's how I first found out about Bad Ronald, and yeah, and so it was his was a pan, but it's like, oh, I'm gonna check this out.
I
Um,
tried, yeah, I tried to find more about the book online. I found like a TV tropes page that goes into
yeah,
some of his citations, but like
it's a
couldn't
great
find a
book.
full list. It seems
It's a
very interesting. It
It's
seems like a
very interesting. It's very one of the chapters in there is about this show called the $1.98 Beauty Pageant, where they got not the most beauty pageant like ladies to compete for a cash prize of $1.98 on TV.
that
And
sounds humiliating.
yeah, very much so. But the most like it's like the most recent thing in that book is the Janet Jackson Super Bowl incident.
Yeah, because the
Like
book's
so
from
it's
what,
very
like 2004, 2005,
It's from
somewhere around
it's
there.
from like the 2000s, yeah, the mid
Yeah.
2000s. But it's a great book if you can track it down. But anyway, and he said in his book, The 100 Dumbest Events in Television History, quote, Bad Ronald has gained a cult reputation as an unsettling suburban gothic that gave nightmares to a generation of kids in 1974. But what terrifies at age 9 can look like processed cheese 30 years later. And such is the case with Bad Ronald. Yet the film has more fans than ever now who revel in its offbeat story, laughable technical credits, and over-earnest cast of TV Land bit players. Scott Jacoby inspires neither fear nor sympathy with his wooden performance. He may be the most boring crazed killer ever introduced, which is a little
It's
bit
a
of an
little,
ouch.
a
That's
little
too
rough.
harsh for poor Ronald.
Yeah. Meanwhile, David Deal, in his book, Television Fright Films of the 1970s, says, quote, Bad Ronald is a serious study of mental deterioration buoyed by solid direction and a good cast that retains a cult following to this day. Director Buzz Kulick, who made the enormously popular Brian song a few years prior to this, maintains a creepy, claustrophobic atmosphere from the get-go. Most of the film is made up of interior shots, and with the Victorian house setting, the dark spaces and labyrinthine layout are perfect for exploring the cobwebs that cover and distort the brain of Ronald. So, it's Ronald's been divisive then and now, and even by
By
the
us,
nature of
yeah.
this, yeah,
Yeah.
of this conversation. So, I will also say I love the tagline for this movie. It's got the kind of tagline I dig. It is the tagline is "The Wilby place is haunted by a ghost who isn't dead." I
That's
mean,
fun. That's fun.
I have a smile on my face whenever I say that. I do want to give a shout out to another Kim Hunter performance from around this era in a segment from a season 2 episode of Night Gallery called The Late Mr. Peddington, where she plays a very nonchalant widow shopping for a casket. It's a really fun performance. Um, if anyone is curious, you can still buy the novel Bad Ronald. Apparently, it's one of those that's printed on demand, and it's supposedly far more violent and disturbing than the movie. I have this I have this on DVD because my the blog I write for Synapse, we have a relationship with Warner Archive, who owns the rights to this movie, and so they always send us free stuff to write about, and so I wrote about this way back when. But this has since been released on Blu-ray. For the physical media collectors out there, you can own it. And by the way, God bless you people, because we need to stick together. Um, there was a French version of this made in the early 90s, which I have not seen, but I am a little sorry we never got the feature film remake of this that we were promised in the 2010s, because I think it would have been interesting to see what Ronald would have done on the big screen. But then again, I also love that this is the only version really out there, and that Ronald exists permanently in the 70s. It just feels right. And I think that's a sentiment that's probably echoed by both fans of the movie and detractors of the movie. I think that's something that both camps can agree on.
Yeah. Uh,
Everyone who's listening to this right now, buy Bad Ronalds on Blu-ray, or you are not an ally.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. Well, I still have the DVD. I need to buy it on Blu-ray too. But
I,
yes,
I I'm sorry. I simply rented this on Amazon.
that's fine.
Uh,
I,
but the Amazon description of it is a little bit off. I'm gonna blank out one of the words in this, and then I'm gonna circle back and have you try and guess what the word is, because it's not really all that fitting.
Okay.
So it's this is the plot description. A blank teenaged boy who lives in the walls of a house finds the house sold to a family after his mother dies, and he falls for one of the new residents. How do you think we describe this teenage boy?
Weird.
No.
wait,
Okay.
can you read it again? I didn't hear where you had the blank.
Yes, I closed out of the tab, but let me pull it back up. A blank teenage boy who lives in the walls of a house finds the house sold to a family after his mother dies, and he falls for one of the new residents. One, really lopping off a lot of context and everything, but what is the blank? What is the adjective used to
Okay,
describe this teenage
so
boy?
Oh.
I'm expecting this to be something incredibly awful. Like it's just like it's not going to be something like reclusive teenage boy. It's got to be something weird. And so my guess is virginal,
Well, you're not that far off. The word is perverted.
Oh.
perverted. Okay.
A pervert. This fucking pervert lives in the walls. It was like that's what I read immediately before hitting rent and pressing play. And I was like, oh, okay, that's an angle. Like, this is going to be like a weird psychosexual thing, and like
On ABC.
it's not in that he like sort of develops this fascination for this girl, but
Yeah,
like
right.
he's very decidedly not a pervert. He's decidedly
No.
like sort of so stunted in his so- socialization that like that doesn't enter it at all. The movie is more ogling of this 14-year-old girl than the character of Bad Ronald.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I thought you were gonna
yeah,
go. I thought they were gonna go completely different. Like I thought the word might be like goofy or
no,
something,
no,
like or
perverted.
happy-go-lucky.
A
Okay.
perverted
Happy-go-lucky
teenage boy.
Ronald.
Honestly, name this movie Perverted Ronald.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Oh
what a
goodness.
combination of words. Perverted
Yeah,
Ronald.
yeah. This movie can be whatever you see it as.
Yeah, just
Uh,
swap it out with any adjective and any name. Fuck it, who cares?
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
Do we have anything else? Any other?
No,
Well, have I hit the hour mark? Because I cannot be the one that is under an hour. I
there's
No,
cannot
many
do
that
that.
are under an hour.
But
I
we've definitely crossed the hour at this point.
okay.
I think we're
Okay.
at like an hour 10, hour 15 at this point.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
cool.
we even
All right.
started a little bit. I guess maybe we started right at 10 because I had some difficulties in getting the link over your way
No,
Yeah.
no, that's
in a
fine.
timely fashion. But yeah,
I've been watching three different things today for three different podcasts. So,
that's the way it goes sometimes.
it's all, yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Never again will I do I'm loving my time with Faye, but never again will I ever do a series where I have four titles per go.
Yeah,
I will never do
yeah.
that again.
Especially with movies as long as The Messenger, the
The
story of Joan of
Message of
Arc, for
January.
example.
The story in all caps. Yeah, yeah. Oh
God,
gosh. But he worked, they say fucking bitch in there, Gordon.
we gotta get out of here before I get myself mad
Yeah, I
about that movie all
know.
over again.